In today's Mommy Minute, I'm talking about consistency. Now, we all know the importance of being a consistent parent. When I say something, it's going to happen. If I promise something, I'm going to do it. If I say that that's wrong, if you do it, you're going to get a consequence. Being consistent is super important to being a successful parent. However, are there times when it's okay to be inconsistent, to change your mind? For myself, I know that sometimes I overreact. I tell my child what the punishment will be, and then as I walk away, I realize that was too harsh. And I feel convicted that I need to change what the punishment is. And it's okay to go back and say, I've thought about this, and the punishment that I was going to give you was not the right consequence. It was too harsh. On the flip side of things, if the first punishment you gave was not enough, then it's also okay to go back and say, upon further thinking about this, I really feel like the appropriate consequence is something bigger so that you can learn from this experience and not do this again. Ideally, when you're giving consequences, you've taken a moment to think about it, pray about it, figure out what you think your child needs, and to give a consequence and then stick with it. But if you have given a consequence too quickly, or you overreacted, or you underreacted, and you feel like a consequence needs to be changed, just make sure you communicate what is causing you to make that change and do it in a way that is clear so that they understand why the new consequence is happening. And make sure that the new consequence is consistent with your family. That long-term consistency is really the most important thing. In our family, we fix things when we make a mistake. So to be consistent with that, I have to go back and change the overreacting mistake of a consequence that I gave you. On the flip side, in our family, we take lying really seriously. So I need to go back and I need to give you a consequence that is consistent with how seriously we take lying. And so the consequence is bigger than I originally said. Long-term consistency is the most important thing. It's important, though, that if you're going to change a punishment, that it is not in response to a child's whining or nagging or arguing. If you change a punishment due to a child's whining, that child has learned that it's worthwhile whining because it might get you out of the punishment that mom said she was going to give you. That is not the right reason to change a punishment. But if in your heart you really feel like, wow, I overreacted, the best thing to do is to go back to that child and say, I really feel convicted that this was the wrong consequence, and I'm going to give you a different consequence that's more appropriate to what the situation was. That's not being inconsistent. That's not being wishy-washy. The fact is, we ask of our children, if you've done something wrong, go back and fix it. And so if you've given the wrong consequence, go back and fix it. That's actually the most consistent way to handle it because that is consistent with your family rules, which is if you've made a mistake, fix it. If you're the parent and you've made a mistake in giving the consequence, then go back and fix it. That shows love, that shows logic, and that actually does show consistency.